Hey everyone, Craig Williams here, back with another video. In this video I'm going to show you my little sort of plug-in chain that I use for 808s for basses and stuff like that. For the longest time when I started making music, I've really liked 808s, but I could never get the sound to really work in my tracks, whether it just totally took over the whole track and drowned everything out, or it was just too distorted or something like that. So I've made a couple of tracks lately that had the 808 in it, and it seemed to work really well, and I found a nice little balance. So I thought I'd share it with you guys, and hopefully if you're having the same troubles that I had, that you will be able to overcome them and use these techniques in your productions. So there's a couple of plugins you can use. Like if you don't have Logic, it just comes with you got the EXS, and you can cruise over drums and percussion, electronic, and then it's got the 808 here. There's another one you can use, which I tend to use a little bit as well, but I just did a comparison to the two sounds and they sound pretty similar. And that is the Audiorealism drum machine. It's like an 808 and a 909 sort of in one, but it has a pretty decent sort of 808 that you can tune and change the decay and all that sort of stuff. So if you don't have Logic, this is another plugin that you can use, or if you're using something else, you can use samples. So one sample pack that I suggest is something by the guys from Gold Baby. They make really good samples, and they record it to tape and vinyl, and they do all this cool stuff. So look them up. They're from New Zealand, and they make some cool stuff, and I've seen a lot of big name producers saying that they really like their stuff, so that's a good plug. So this is the sound. Yeah. Just made a little pattern so you can sort of get an idea, and obviously this can be tweaked, so as need be. So we'll go through the plugin chain and what each one, why I put it on there, so you can sort of get an idea. So I've just reset all these sounds, and then this is just so you can sort of see what's going on. So this is the start. It's not too bad of a sound, but I'm sure we'll be able to get something a bit better, something that cuts through the mix. That was the big thing, to get the attack for me to cut through the mix. So first up, we've got the EQ. I tend to roll the bottom off a little bit, just to take away the super sub frequencies and help clean up the mix a little bit. Another thing that I did was come along and took out the highs. Just found that they tend to just eat up a little bit too much, so I wanted to give room for whether I had more drums or synths or something to fitting up here. I wanted to take them out as well. And then I come and just took a little bit more off there. This is sort of where all my synths and drums and majority of that sort of the elements sit up here, so that's why I've taken out that, and that sounds like so. You hear just that initial sort of the bite of the attack is sort of gone now with that. You'll be able to see it on here. Next up, I put the sausage fattener on there, and again, only just sort of touched a little bit, had it at 2%. just helped add a little bit of weight to the body, not so much the bass, it just seems to add a little bit more beef to the sound. And that's with it on. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear this, but maybe if you got headphones on or something like that, you'll be able to pick up what's going on. Next up, to bring back that sort of just the initial attack that I've taken out with pulling down the highs, I've just put an enveloper on there, and I've really just cranked this right up. So that's with it on, and that's with it off. Really just wanted to for that initial attack here to just punch through. If we have a look on here, and really for me, like listening on headphones, this really changes the sound a lot. And then lastly, I put on a limiter, and this is, as you can see here, we've got like a fair bit of dynamic range there. I didn't want to completely squash the sound, but I just wanted it so it's a little bit more manageable come time for mixing and stuff like that. It's not so all over the place, and you don't have a large dynamic range to try and rein in with extra compression and stuff like that. And there you go. So the sound isn't changing too much. Just sort of being tightened up a little bit. So as you can see, I don't have any the threshold is still at 0, and it's just helping tame the sound a little bit more. If we look again on there, not too much change. It's just helping over here for the mixing. And then lastly, I had a gain plugin because the other, this Audiorealism is a stereo, and if I just wanted to use the bass, sometimes I had a difference between the left and right channel, so I would put that on and then just set that to mono. There's a lot of plugins on different programs that can help you out with that, so that was just the reason why I had the gain plugin at the end. And then this one is just to show you guys as we go through. So it's pretty simple tutorial today. I tried to use majority of the built-in plugins or plugins that you'll have available on your different platforms. Hopefully that's helped out some of you guys. Obviously you can change the sound a fair bit just by the release times, and then obviously I found that if you wanted to make a full bass line out of it, you can do things like you can tune it in there and then make that make a whole bass line out of it. Or if you're just starting, what you can do is duplicate what you want and then bring it down, and then say this one here. There we go, this one. And we can pitch this one up. So it's just like another way, instead of having to draw in the automation for everything, you can just sort of pitch it up, get something that you like, bounce it down to audio, and then work with it like that. So yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty simple one this week. If you got any questions, feel free to drop us a line. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to head over to my Facebook page to keep up to date with my gigs and whatnot. And don't forget to also head over to my SoundCloud page for lots of free music and weekly mixes and stuff like that. So until next week, see you later.